What's up, beautiful people? Happy Saturday. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for me. Well, Nicki Minaj has been hit with her first lawsuit of 2025. Now, back in 2024, we know Nicki was on her Pink Friday 2 tour. And so allegedly, one of her managers was asked to come and see her backstage. There were some questions asked. The questions were not answered properly. And so Nicki allegedly, according to this individual, struck this man across the face and on the wrist. Now, this individual has filed an official lawsuit and is looking for punitive damages to be received to him, okay? Now, Nicki, I don't know exactly what happened, but according to these details in this story, we was out in the crowd partying, doing it up, giving you your dues, and you was striking people down. But we're going to get into this story and talk about it. Welcome to Royer's Corner. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Alrighty, Nicki Minaj sued for assault by tour employee who claims rapper attacked him backstage. Brandon Garrett says Minaj physically struck him during a confrontation in her dressing room following a Detroit concert last April. So here Nicki is on tour doing her thing. She's on stage having fun, giving life to the people. But then once the camera's cut, we go backstage, we go home or headed home. She's allegedly striking people down. Nicki Minaj has been sued for assault by a man who claims the rapper physically attacked him following a concert in Detroit last April, according to documents filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on Friday, January 3rd. And that was just yesterday, okay? In the complaint, the plaintiff filed Brandon Garrett claims that while working as a day-to-day manager for Minaj in 2024 Pink Friday 2 tour, the rapper real name Nicki Minaj hit him multiple times after flying into a rage backstage at the Little Caesars Arena, okay? According to the lawsuit, the alleged assault occurred on April 21st after Garrett was summoned to Minaj's dressing room backstage at the arena, where he says he was confronted by Minaj and her former manager, Deb Benit, about sending another tour employee identified as hospitality manager Luke Montgomery to pick up prescriptions for Minaj in his place. Ms. Anit asks why Mr. Montgomery was picking up the prescriptions on behalf of defendant Mirage. The complaint read, referring to Minaj by her birth name. Plaintiff responded that he had Mr. Montgomery pick up a prescription in the past because defendant Mirage wanted it immediately, but the plaintiff was occupied at the venue with defendant Mirage in the quick change room during the performance because one plaintiff's job duty was assisting defendant Mirage with dressing during performances. So, it's sounding to me that Brandon was supposed to assist her while she's performing and doing stage things and all of those, things that come with the stage presence. You can't be two places at once. So I can't help you get dressed and go pick up your prescription medicine as well. And if this man is a part of the inner core team, why not? Like, if I can assign something to him to get the job done, the job is still being done. So what does it matter? Garrett claims that Minaj then became visibly upset and angrily screamed at him, "Are you effing crazy? Having him pick up my prescriptions? Have you lost your effing mind? And if my husband were here, he would knock out your two front teeth." Woo, okay. Okay. So not only are we, threatening this man, we're having threats from other people as well that you're saying they're going to do. You're a dead man walking. You just effed up your whole life and you will never be anyone. I'll make sure of it. Minaj then allegedly started yelling at Montgomery. This is the other individual, okay? Asking what day he picked up the prescriptions and what exact prescriptions they were. When Montgomery said he did not remember, Minaj allegedly screamed at him, took his phone to look through it until she could find it. The complaint states that when neither Montgomery nor Garrett could find the information Minaj had requested, she asked to see Mr. Montgomery's cell phone to read the last text message between plaintiff and Mr. Montgomery. After Mr. Montgomery allegedly offered up his cell phone to Minaj to read the messages, Garrett says she approached him and got very close in his face while continuing to yell at him. Okay. So now you're in my personal space. Okay. I'm imagining that Garrett is fearful. He doesn't know what's about to happen. So this is a lot leading up to what is allegedly happened, Nicki. And this is a pretty progressive story in what is allegedly being said. These are kind of the steps that are headed up next, to this slapdown, allegedly. At this point, defendant Minaj open-handedly struck plaintiff on the right side of his face, causing his head to swing backwards as his hat flew off his head. The complaint reads, whew, not a whole slap across. This is a Will Smith, Chris Rock slapper sounding like to me. Garrett alleges that at this point, several members of Minaj's security team swarmed in close to them before Minaj allegedly struck plaintiff on his right wrist, knocking the documents in plaintiff's hand onto the floor. Garrett claims that Minaj then ordered him out of the room. After complying with her demand, he says he ran to the nearest restroom and locked himself inside for hours, during which he said he called his fiance to tell him what had happened. Excuse me. At this point, plaintiff's wrist was throbbing and his face was sore, but he stayed in the restroom because he was terrified and feared for his safety. The complaint continues. In the early morning hours of April 22nd, which is the day after, Garrett says he then received a text message from a busmate on the tour informing him that Annette and Garrett would not be riding the bus from Detroit to Chicago, leaving him stranded. Okay, so he left in Detroit, got to find his way back to Chicago. After arriving back to Chicago on a flight, Garrett says he contacted the Chicago Police Department for the police to escort him back to his hotel because he feared for his safety and did not know if his belongings had been removed or tampered with. He says he filed a police report with the Chicago PD after arriving back to his room, where he allegedly remained for the next couple of days because he was fearful and traumatized over the incident. He says he then flew back to Detroit to file a formal police report there. The statement sent to Billboard, Minaj attorney Jude Brunstein wrote at the time, no complaint has been served upon Mrs. Petty. Therefore, we are unaware of this specific allegation. However, if the lawsuit is as reported by TMZ, it is completely false and frivolous. We are confident that the matter brought by this ex-assistant will be resolved swiftly in Mrs. Petty's favor. Garrett is suing for intentional infliction of emotional distress, assault and battery, and asking for punitive and explanatory damages and general damages, among other relief. Annette did not immediately respond to the request for comments, which is supposed to be Nicki's ex-manager. Now, everybody kind of hopefully knows who Miss Deb is. Miss Deb is Waka Flocka's mom. She has been a mother figure for Nicki Minaj, in these most really since I would say Nicki has kind of been out here in these, rapping streets, I would say. I think that she is a great manager. I think she has great ways of elevating people and getting people to that next level. But I don't agree with the way she handles things either. To me, Miss Deb, from what I have experienced of her on TV and seeing her, she's very strong, very powerful, very boisterous, and it can come off, it could come off offending. It could come off, aggressive, if you may. And so I can only imagine that and Nicki at the same time, both of those two clashing together, coming at you like, oh my God, I would definitely be afraid. I would definitely feel some type of way. And especially if this person is already a part of the camp, they've run errands, they've done these things. What does it really matter? You got the prescription you needed. As long as nothing's missing, nothing is out of place, and you got the right prescription, why does it matter who got it? Is it something that is illegal and that you shouldn't be taking and that nobody knows about? We got some questions around this, Miss Nicki, and we need some answers. Y'all, leave your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this situation? Do you think that, Nicki is turning into a monster? Has she been a monster and we're just now seeing it? Or is this, manager employee not telling the truth? I don't know what exactly is going on, but we're going to figure it out coming soon, hopefully, as this will, be going to court, and hopefully, I don't know what the official outcome is going to be, but if she did it, ma'am, pay this man, give him an apology, and do better. If she didn't, sir, you need to check into a mental institute and get some help, because lying about something like this is not okay. But we're going to find out. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will catch y'all next time in Royer's Corner. Bye.